So today is my 3-year wedding anniversary. I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. While I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him, he goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck, but he works. That is all he does. I am in a different town because I had to take my kids to their football practice, and I asked him to watch our daughter, and you know what he did? He slept. He slept since he got home. I did homework. I fed the kids. I took my son to speech. I went to the bank. I paid people to mow my yard because, he can't mow the yard anymore. I got them ready for football. I took them to football. I tried taking care of myself and went on a walk, but, when I started realizing I hadn't heard from him, I'm calling and calling and calling and begging for the bare minimum of him to watch our fucking daughter, to cut up a watermelon, and to make dinner. I mean, that is absolutely bare minimum. I am a married single mom. That's what I am. Yeah, I don't work, but the amount of weight I carry, I can tell you why I've stayed. Money. It's that simple. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. He used to want me to be a stay-at-home mom. Now he just doesn't care because he doesn't care about anything.
Welcome, guys, to another episode with me. Now, in this episode, we are seeing, a married woman, of course, who is a full-time housewife. From the looks of this car, looks like a very, very, comfortable car. And she even said in this video that she took her children to practice, which means you have a very, very reliable mode of transport. However, she's complaining about one thing, that her husband is not active in her marriage. I find this funny and I find this distasteful. When it comes to some issues about life, I always say that it is only when you're in that shoe that you would understand fully well what is going on. It is applicable in this case. I will tell those that need to know. For somebody to be a full-time provider can be draining, I must say. It's absolutely insane that in this current economy, now let's look at the UK, for example, it is not easy to be able to provide for a whole family. And when I mean a whole family, you're providing for your wife and children. For an average family in the UK, for example, you would have to be living in a 2-bedroom or a 1-bedroom. That's about, give or take, from £1,200 to about £1,400. You have a car, which means your husband also has his own car. So let's look at another monthly installment paid for both of you owning a car. Your kids are able to go to football club. This means that those are being paid. So for a man to achieve this, it typically means that he has to be doing about 60 hours, minimum of 60 hours a week. Trust me, for somebody that works shift, I will tell you that this is absolutely insane. The man now have just one day to rest. Just one day to rest. And you want that man to leave that day he needs to rest to be active in the family. This is why I say that, in this current economy we are, is absolutely insane to tell your wife that she should just stay at home with the kids. Because trust me, she will never understand why you are absent and why the money is not flowing the way she wants it to. Yeah, when women work for money, I think they consider or put, their husband in the same shoes when they're asking for outrageous, funds to do whatever they like. Now, I would say to this woman, if I'm her husband and I'm watching this video, I would tell her to go find a job if she's not pleased with my own life. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to portion the bills. So I'll pay 60, you pay 40, or I pay 70, you pay 30. Just so you know how easy it is. I would also be active this time around because at least I'm not doing, too much, I'm not doing too much shift again. So probably I've reduced my shift to about 48 hours a week or 40 hours a week. So this time around, I will have time for my own children. I'll be able to take them to football practice. I'll be able to make dinner. I'll be able to, play video games with my own children. I am going to be active because if I'm speaking for this man, I'm going to say that this man, if he doesn't, make time to truly rest, and when I mean rest, I'm not talking about resting only when you have leave. I'm talking about quality everyday rest. It's going to collapse soon. And the funny thing is, when you're dead, she's going to take the kids. She's going to be under another man. And the circle keeps on rolling. So you can never satisfy women. Like I used to say, you can never satisfy women. The only way she would understand is to let her get a job. Let her also start working. Let her bring something to the table. And watch how things go. Alright guys, I see you guys in the next one. Sorry I've not been around for a while, but please, I'll try my best to post more videos as soon as I can.